Okay, talking about the SPY on the day of March 23rd, 2017. So, SPY was in an uptrend, went sideways, broke through an intermediate support level on volume, and now is pulling back slowly to that level. So, which is kind of getting near the midline. Yeah, so longer term uptrend still intact, short term downtrend. Top two pre-market movers were SSH, Sunshine Heart. So big picture here. This is medical devices and healthcare sector, right? So bigger picture is definitely a long-term downtrend. Kind of looks like a former runner. So we got reverse stock split in the background. It's just like some little pieces, but I mean definitely this is a long-term downtrend. So pre-market we are making higher highs, higher lows in the pre-market, but this is a gap up in a weak stock. So, gap up in a weak stock, you failed to break out the pre-market highs right off the open, kind of pull back the VWAP. So maybe, that could have been a nice trade in there, but definitely here's piece of evidence one, failed to break out the pre-market highs. Piece of evidence two, we're in a long-term downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, not full cove at this point, but just lower lows, lower highs after failure to test the pre-market high. So maybe could have been short in this pullback here. Nice little 4-to-1, 3-to-1. So that was a pre-market mover, but it didn't look like a whole lot. Now that I look at it in retrospect, I kind of see like this is a good, it's like when weak stocks gap up, and you've talked about this, weak stocks gap up, like they definitely can set up good shorts. The other one was FireEye. So what's the FireEye's software technology sector? Maybe you call this long-term downtrend, but this is just sideways, so we are technically making like lower lows and lower highs, but like intermediately just sideways. So we gapped up in the sideways, and like I wasn't even concerned because I know FireEye, but it wasn't doing anything because it's in that big chop. So was no reason to even be looking at this, so I didn't. Time to break down my trades. So I guess when the after hours, or I don't know, whatever, like my trades aren't on there. Like like you can see, I've got the trades from show today's trades on chart. But so at least you can see, I did, trade these stocks. And maybe there's time on here. Let me see if there's. Okay, well, I just got price. So anyway, it's not telling me the exact time. I'll try to get my videos out earlier in the day, just to hopefully keep the markings on there. So the first trade I took was JDST. So long term, this is the gold miners index for gold, right? Longer term, maybe downtrend, but basing action. Intermediate, maybe basing. So basically what I saw, let's talk about, so that's the bigger picture, like, maybe down, it's kind of hovering in lows, but kind of got near lows and didn't do anything. So intermediate, or to talk about the technical levels, I saw this over under kind of like level, right, on the intraday. So here's an under, here's an over, an under again, right? And so I would rank that as maybe like a 6. So we came into today's session. Let me just get down to the 4-minute, and I'll show you the exact time so we can just there's no fudging it, so we can be very clear on what time I did what. So I went long JDST, bought at 4:15 at 10:04. Right. So let's just drop the arrow. Right, so this was actually probably the best entry I've had in a long time. So I basically saw that we opened lower. Oh my God, that might set up a nice long. We break out, we kind of like start, not really ABCDing, but anyway, we open lower, higher low, break out through that 6 level I was talking about. So we get this little, tight little pullback. So I had a buy stop just at the high of this 10:03 bar. you can see that I bought at 10:04:01 at 4:15. So, you know, I guess that's 10:05. So, yeah, whatever. Sure, I guess. Anyway, whatever. It gets it triggered on this 10:05 bar, but so I bought like right there, and my exit was fucking awful. So this is a time where I had an excellent entry, but an awful exit. We saw that there's definitely like potential overhead resistance over here. So I come in here and I go long JDST. 400 shares. So I'm risking not that much. I was risking like a quarter. Maybe just below that breakout level. But for this pullback, I didn't have to risk it much. So I risked a quarter because I thought this was a decent setup. And we get the move right to that resistance level, so $1.15. And obviously I'm expecting resistance to hold the first time we test. So we pull back, complex pullback. That's still like constructive for the uptrend. We get this second test up, and when we don't break out here, I've got to at least be on alert to exit. And we start going sideways, so I'm still holding here, but I think once we break this low, I got to get out, or just say like, this was prior resistance, so now it's held twice, like, it's got to get me on alert. I ended up fucking exiting at like fucking VWAP, like over here, so I gave back like 70 cents, or call it 50 cents, and a nice winning chop turned into, turned into like 30 cents. So poor exit strategy there. I think the difference in trading that is like when you're trading like an ALF, right, a stronger trend, like above all the resistance, like that's when you can hold for those trend days. But when you've got an obvious resistance level, like it's got to be in my plan that if we hit that resistance and that resistance holds, I need to be looking to get out, and not holding like underneath it, because I wouldn't be buying under here, right? So why would I continue to hold my long under here? So good entry in JDST, not such a good exit. So we have just the opposite thing in ESPR. So let me get rid of this. The opposite thing happened in ESPR. So ESPR, therapeutics and biotech, hot sector lately, basing action, long-term uptrend. We had a volume, like highest volume day, and then gap up to all-time highs and pull back, but it's kind of like holding, going sideways here. So, on the 5 minute, saw this over yet again, over under level. That kind of been hit, so maybe call this one like a 5, or maybe 5 or 6. So we touched it like quite a few times here. So I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then on the open, that's what I noticed, that we're just kind of gyrating sideways. And so, I noticed that we had tested this level on the open. So what I did was I set an alert right here at this level, and just the opposite of JDST. So my alert triggered here, and I started looking at this, and I can make up whatever fucking excuses. Like, my friend called me on fucking FaceTime from Thailand, and we were talking, and I went outside to smoke a fucking cigarette. So whatever. Point is, I missed this because I wasn't focused. I wasn't paying attention. So we get this beautiful, it's beautiful holding above the level. Like, I see the best level. So volume starts coming in, holding above the level. Nice sideways, like overlapping. So now we're at a full cove. Maybe not full cove H, we're the full cove after going sideways on the open, holding higher above this level. So this is what I was looking for, right? Except I wasn't paying fucking attention. So missed my good entry here, right? Keep going. And so then we get, I knew this was like a prior resistance level. This definitely won twice, prior resistance 3 times. Level up here. And so why I'm very frustrated myself is because I missed this, and I saw the volume come in. So I bought, where did I buy ESPR? I bought ESPR at 41.50 at 10.41, or 11.41, excuse me. So 11.41 is right there, right here. I bought it, the high right here. So I mean, that wasn't the best entry. right? So I'm chasing 1, 2 entries on Segura. I was risking to the, down here, like to the low here. And so, we start to break out through the level, but immediately trade down. Then we try to test again, but we can't get through it. So I ended up getting out. I ended up selling, because I saw that happen. I ended up selling 41.33 at 12.05. So just kind of like saw like this was actually a decent exit. Kind of saw what was happening, like that. Price had gotten to this resistance level and then kind of made like a little double top, like right at this resistance level. So not a bad exit, but my entry is shitty. So if I enter here and I exit here, it's a pretty decent trade, right? Like $1.20. If I enter here and exit somewhere in here in JDust, I'm making about $1. Like, so a mega winning day turned into just like a slightly profitable day. I mean, I think I ended up making like $25 a day. It's not about the money. It's about the process. And also the concerning thing for me in ESPR is that I did the same thing. Like I did the same thing in NKTP or NKTR the other day. Like missed my entry that I wanted because for whatever reason, I didn't set my alert that day. I missed the same entry, and then I chased it up here. So that's like giving me concern about myself, and like I'm not willing to just leave it because I missed it, and not be willing to accept the fact that I'm gonna miss trades. So I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been journaling, and that's gonna change today because I'm definitely gonna start journaling like during the trading day actively, and I haven't been doing that. So who knows? Maybe if I journal about NKTR yesterday, like maybe I wouldn't have made the day before, maybe I wouldn't have made this shitty trade yesterday. So anyway, like I said, a profitable day turned into a slightly less profitable day because of this shitty entry, and then a much less profitable day because of a terrible exit. So anyway, those are my two trades, and you can see them. I mean, you can see them right up here. Bought JDust at this and sold at this, and bought ESPR here and sold at this. So I mean, the fact that I traded them, I'm not just bullshitting and dropping arrows. So anyway, other notable things that happened yesterday was when I wanted to talk about the 3-bar triangle. I don't think that got cut off at the end of my video. So we noticed so looking for the 3-bar triangle at this all-time high. So when we break out of the all-time high, we double topped there, and so when no volume comes in and we get a double top, we start kind of grinding back, holding higher lows into the low of day. So full cove there, after the weakness in the background, what should have happened at the high of day as piece of evidence 1, and now we're kind of like making lower highs to the low of day. So I mean, this isn't any gangbuster trade, but it's still like a nice chop, and you could have risked very little, 15 cents. So 6 to 1, a little too rich for my blood. Anything under 150 I can trade. Anything I can basically throw like 100 shares on that'll move anywhere between like 1 or 2 points a day. I don't mind trading that. It's like, but definitely the 30, $20 to $50 range is kind of more what I look to trade. I didn't see a whole lot of other stuff that like was like large movers. I mean, this this HTGM was obviously a big mover on the day. Sorry, I got away from the process, but we know what WIN is, so I didn't have to tell you about the what fucking WIN is. But like, we're going sideways. The bigger picture is we were going sideways for like a year, and then we break out to all-time highs and 3-bar triangle at all-time highs. I mean, the volume's not fantastic, but it's above average. So anyway, so that was my setup there. Talk about HTGM, so healthcare, diagnostics. Just going sideways. I mean, looks like former runner, had some of these wide range days, like got pumped and dumped. So healthcare, there was news on this, right? They had earnings today or on the 23rd. So was there pre-market? I mean, there was some pre-market, but like nothing amazing. So they had some news that came out that was like they got a CE rating, which is like some French fucking word for just basically said that Europe likes their lung drug or whatever. So, and this is already like trading like really highly in after hours. So I'm gonna mark that level for see what happens there. The after hours trading, like I mean, it's already like way up here. So this is on the watch list, like going forward for Friday's trading session, because it's like at all-time highs. And I mean, looking like it's kind of going, parabolic. I mean, it's already up at like 650 or something. So, it's definitely like overextended setup. Um, yeah, I mean, you're going up from $3 to 50% one trading session. I mean, I call that overextended. So, top ideas coming into Friday's trading session. ALF definitely number one. So, ALF, sideways base. Bigger picture is that we are in a longer term uptrend, pullback. So, maybe potential higher low here. Biotech, hot sector. What I love about this is we have these two overlapping bars, narrow range inside days. So just basically don't know if this is a lower high, don't know if this is a higher low, like for the actual trend, but looking for breakout either way. The trend is still up and innocent until proven guilty, so longs will probably be better, but looking for the breakout of these two narrow range inside days. ESPR. So I mean, this pullback, we've kind of got this couple overlap, not really, but I mean, just like this tight range. So if we get above, this stays high, like I might look to be long ESPR. NKTR, kind of the same thing, overlapping, and now we've got this narrow range day. It's kind of below the high day, so I've got an alert set here for the all-time high. Once again, biotech, long term. I mean, this could have been an exhaustion gap, but there was, there's no trend before that. So I mean, but still, volume came in, and now we're holding at the all-time high. We're not exactly rejecting away. OVAS, obviously, like you mentioned, just kind of have the alert set there. Another biotech is going sideways long term. CMCM, so another one I liked here. So software, technology, was going, had a few months base, and then had this blast. This definitely is a change of character. These 2 days change of character move, and now we've got a pullback right at the midline, two narrow range inside days after these volume days. So kind of looking for breakout. The downside potential is about about $1, maybe 50 cents. I mean, nothing crazy, but there's potential support here into 1050, kind of maybe this 1020, 1050 area. This kind of like UFO here, as you would call it. Where's the fucking UFO deal? So kind of like this support area. So I mean, the downside potential, potential supports right here. But the setup is that we have, change of character, then two narrow range inside days at the midline. So, could we break out higher? Sure. Could we break out lower? Sure. Just it's a nice setup. I have alerts set at both of those days. And then Alpha KTR. I guess fuel, I meant to break down fuel. So you could have said, this is the reason I didn't like it, just because intraday is a little liquid. But I mean, we've got advertising, long-term uptrend. Uptrend still intact, pulled back inside of Keltner, and then once we get to the full cove H, you could have been buying pullbacks, but this is really thin intraday, so I wasn't a big fan of that. And I think that's about it. So just to recap, SSH was a good trade because it gapped up, stock gapping up in a downtrend. And it was super active pre-market, so that was our indicator to pay attention. HTGM, so to rank as far as prioritization, if I were to rank, so ALF would definitely be number one. NKTR is really an alert if we get to the all-time high, but ALF, I'm actively watching this because this compression is like, I want to be paying attention to ALF. CMCM same way because we're compressing right at the midline here, and then probably throw HTGM on there because we've got that huge gap in there coming off that in the after hours. And so this stock is definitely in play, and it's got this positive news story. So I'm not having an opinion about shorts, but I'm just saying, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? And yeah, ESPR would be my other one. So my top 4 ideas. So yeah, so just to land the plane on today's trading session about how I traded, I think I need to do a better job about cataloging how I'm journaling, and what I've been doing, and then focus on having better entries and be cognizant of potential areas for exits if I'm not trading these like blue sky trend trades. All right, dude.